Hello there everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode we can finish putting things back together on the GMC, so that way hopefully we can go take it for a rep and see if she runs any better, so stay tuned. Okay, well, we have a new cargo box thingy installed because this thing did not have one and functions as it should. We put one of the 17 million belts that we found in this thing in here. No fluids yet because it doesn't leak anything at the moment.
Alright kids, so we're still waiting on the exhaust manifold to show up. So we're taking the day, since the kid is out of school now, that we are changing door pans, because anybody that's ever had an OBS knows that they suck. And the passenger side front door, driver side front door, both of them need replaced. So we got the engine crane set up with a ratchet strap to keep it kind of hanging there, which is working out pretty well rather than trying to use a jack. And Ethan's in there, he's got the pins out, he's getting rid of the little bushings, and then we're going to start reassembly. So, I'll get back to you in a minute.
Okay, so the bushings have all been hammered out of this door, and we're going to put in the new ones, put in the new pins, and then the new pins have E-clips instead of the stupid round style. And then this door should be fixed because I grabbed a hold of it earlier and it moves a lot. But the bottom pin, I'll see if I can give you a picture, was partially out of the door, so that probably had part of the problem. So, but our engine hoist method with the ratchet straps working out fairly well. You just got to get it nice and balanced before you start yanking on it. So. Get the new bushings in and start sliding pins down in, and then we'll get back with you. Okay everybody, we're getting repositioned to do that door now. We're gonna skip the rears for now because they seem to be okay-ish. But all the pins are done on this side. All new white lithium grease and stuff's in. I got the spring back in, and now, well, I'm kind of on a downhill slope now, but now the door just shuts like butter, and body lines line up a little better now. And whenever you open the door, you can't just jiggle it up and down. It actually moves the whole truck now, so should be good to go for this one. And like I said, we're gonna reposition to do the other side now. Okay, so just as a comparison for whenever we get this done, I guess it's kind of hard to tell because the way that things are, but actually this one doesn't even want to move anymore.
Oh, it's okay, it's not.
Yeah, we're still doing them, definitely, but so same verse, same as the first, just opposite side. We also got some other stuff from our OBS parts guy for the HVAC system, and it's this piece right here that goes from over here to here that has the blend doors, because the blend door that was up here for the defrost was the seal that goes around it was so rotted away that it actually kept falling out of the side that's supposed to keep it in there. So threw that in there yesterday, and fully functional now in all its positions.
And BT Dubs, thank you again, Jordan. It worked out perfect.
Yes. Oh, we also had to change the HVAC control unit out too, because the other one had a weird clicky thing going on the position knob, and the actuator wouldn't move full.
The Dorman repop
thing. Yeah. So this is the original one that came out of it. So, and it seems to be working better than Dorman's.
Things are finally coming together, people.
Yep. Okay. I've got the door still supported with the motor hoist. However, I learned on this side, it's actually not a bad idea to just put two jack stands under it with some rags to hold the bottom of the door, and then this keeps it level-ish, and
but more rigid to pound on.
Right, and then the two jack stands help hold it while this keeps it level, kind of, and then makes it a lot easier to put the pin bushings in. Now.
Yes, and then I don't have to hold the door. I can have my happy hydrators.
Yes. Anyhow, so instead of using the hammer and punch method, what I've been doing is using a socket to like put on the side of it, so that way the bushing can go up through the hole, and then taking the pair of channel locks and then just squeezing them together And it works pretty good to press it, and then you just kind of wiggle it back and forth like so, and it actually makes it even faster. And then it helps really easily to press the bushings in. So, and then I just take the hammer, give it a couple love taps to make sure they're nice and seated the whole way. So now we're ready to slip the door back over the thingies and slap the pins back in and put the spring back in, and front doors are good. Okay, some white lithium grease and some elbow grease later. We can now go like that. And there's no flippy floppy in the door anymore. Body lines match up. So door pins up here are done. We're not going to bother those because
Back ones are fine.
yeah, they don't have any slop in them, so I'm just going to leave them be for now until they wear out. But we also have another set of door pins for anything that we have around here, because we have this truck and we have red truck over there, which actually has another set of door pins in it, and then another one way back there. So door pin jobs.
And another one in Tucson.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, we got a lot of OBS shit.
So yeah, we are good to go. Alright, we've ripped the tailgate off of this thing because the hinges on this side were junk. It was just flopping around all over the place. In the process of putting that side back together. But yesterday, I don't think we filmed any of this, we took this door apart and put a new lock actuator in it, which works better than the old one. It's still kind of crappy because you get to hit the button multiple times to make it actually lock or unlock. Maybe it'll free up, maybe it won't. I don't care. So, and actually put new pins in the door panels, that way it stays attached to the door. So it's pretty neat. And parts are falling off the truck as we speak. Okay, so I have ripped apart this door panel here and discovered some things, because, well, I should say, moving on to audio system things as well. You do audio stuff, yes?
I do audio stuff. What am I doing? Explaining what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay. So, I like decent sound systems in my junk. So, I had bought some speakers and stuff from Crutchfield. So, since we're waiting on other parts to show up, we figured we'd start going through the sound system in this truck and seeing what sort of nightmares were in there.
Which, so far,
like, they actually didn't cut the factory connectors and stuff because...
At least the front ones.
Everything comes with connectors, adaptive. Anyway, this is a component system, because on the 95s and up, the tweeter was in the door, and the tweeter was in the handle, and the woofer was in the thing. So I got this Rockbird Fosgate thing from Crutchfield. So right now I'm just adapting the tweeter to the door thing, and then this is going to go in the door itself, and just got to run some wires and put everything back together, and that's how it'll be done.
Bass blockers as well.
Yeah, got some bass blockers. There's going to be a sub in the back, so it'll be all good eventually.
Okay. So what I'm doing right now, well, and the way they had this set up too, they had a Pioneer cross network thingy-majiggy. I don't know what I did with it. I might have thrown it away. I don't know. Anyway, there was this box thing that had screwed into the door over here, and then there was 2 wires for the in that came out of the original tweeter wires, which are right there, and then they had 2 more wires ran to the speaker and 2 more wires ran to the actual tweeter itself. So we eliminating that. So I'm just going to cut these 2 wires here and put some tape over them, and then just use the factory connector that's down here for the woofer that is still tied into this connector for the radio harness, and call that a day, I guess. Okay, the speaker is back in this door, and I just finished popping the door panel in with some new clips too, so now it shouldn't be all floppy all over the place. Now, the tweeter wires come out of the woofer, which is down here, and we didn't realize this, but they come with extension wires, but so we didn't realize it till after the fact. So this is actually speaker wire from the old speakers that were in here. So right now we're modifying the extension wires that come off of that because the spades are different sizes. So rather than using the spades that we have here and just modifying them, we just chop one extension wire and just plug them into the tweet hollow and just butt connect them to the speaker wires we have in there.
What's wrong with your butt?
What? Okay, so new bumper has arrived. One problem we have, which isn't the bumper's fault, is one of these brackets over here is a little tweaked, and we know something has happened to this corner at one point. So we're just going to modify the bumper to make it work. This bolt is cross-threaded, so making new threads, and cross-thread's better than no thread. So
Yeah, almost there. It's in the air press catch up.
to bend some brackets on the outside to make them fit. This bolt right here has been a problem since the beginning, and the threads in it for some reason are really screwed up.
I don't have a tap this bolt.
Yeah, we can't fix it, so we're just going to get a smaller bolt that goes through that hole with a nut and just call it a day.
Here.
And whoever sent this exhaust manifold out,
Oh my god.
I applaud your efforts with the box.
That's why the manifold was $20 and the shipping was $55.
Yeah. At least they did a nice job. Okay, license plate frame is attached to the bumper, which is now professionally installed to the vehicle with a non-matching bolt to go through the capture nut that's on here with a separate nut, and then a modified washer to hold down that one, because that one doesn't line up. And this is true. So now the frame is on and we have the clips in. Now we can put this bad boy on.
That my son bought for me with his own hard-earned money.
Yes,
Very
with
sweet.
the plastic frame.
Another plastic thing.
Or plastic cover thing, and pretty nice looking black frames. So
Black frames matter.
be back in a minute. So license plate is on with a little bit of modification to the frame here. It attaches to the bumper because we've had to do this before. Because for whatever reason, these do not like to use frames, so you have to carve away a little bit of the plastic. And after you do that, it fits pretty well. So this is now officially the Wolverine. Okay, welcome to Pennsylvania, where you can get all 4 seasons in 1 week. So we have the new exhaust manifold that is a GM manifold that is replacing our Chinese manifold, all painted up and ready to go. We did that last night. So now I don't think we've said about this, but I think it's kind of obvious. This manifold is leaking up at the top.
Between cylinders 1 and 3.
Yeah, like right around this area, kind of. So we have a new manifold, well, new used manifold to replace that. I also noticed too, small problem, we don't really care if this is what we think it is. There's a small trail of fluid underneath the frame over here, and it kind of looks like it's washer fluid because it was coming off the bumper bracket over here. It's kind of watery, so get a paper towel and then you can determine that. So just wanted to say welcome to Pennsylvania because it was sunny and beautiful yesterday, and now it's gloom and doom.
2 days ago. Yesterday was partly cloudy.
Yeah, remember the 5 seasons in 1 day thing? Yeah, here we are again. Driveway's flooded ish. So I have the EGR tube disconnected. I'm gathering up tools to take the Y pipe off. Power just blinked a little bit earlier, so that's probably gonna go out now. Got Y pipe off and start taking bolts out here for some plugs, so that way they don't break, and you should get the manifold out. But should be no risk of snapping any bolts on the head because they just went in there. So be back in a bit.
Alright, so what we have here is an air dam, or you would classify it four-wheel drive, that has holes in it for the tow hooks. Now, the air dam that was on that truck that was half smashed off whenever I bought it And I'm also a fan of the factory fog lights that Ford trucks and the Ford SSs has had. And it turns out, upon further investigation, and I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but you can see an embossing where if this was for a fog light vehicle, they would just punch that piece out. So since it already has the holes for the tow hooks, and it has the marks for where fog lights could go, I am going to cut these holes out because I have a set of aftermarket fog lights that I want to put in here. And I'm not even sure if you can even buy an aerodam that has both of these, but I can do this for free, even though if they have it or they don't.
The plain ones too that have no holes, they actually still have both of the embossing,
Yes.
so these actually do match up.
Yeah, even if you have a plain one, we've noticed that there's also embossing for tow hooks on the back side. So
If you have a plain one and you want to put tow hooks on or your fog lights, you know, you can just get your Dremel and buzz, get away.
happy with it. So we'll check back here in a minute.
Okay, now that my back is thoroughly drenched from the rivers that are running out of there and there, the Y pipe is disconnected from the manifold, so I should not be getting much more drenched until I go to put this all back together. So now I'm going to start taking plugs out, so that way none of them get broken or anything. Then pop the manifold off, and I gotta get that EGR nut thing, the back out, put in the new one because the other one was screwed up. So always good fun. Okay, the sun's coming back out now, so let me give you a test. Now that the sun's coming out, is it A, gonna be 60 degrees and cool? Is it B, gonna be super muggy and hot? C, is it going to stop for a little bit and maybe in rain? Or D, is it just going to stay like this? Let me know your answer in the comments and I'll let you know if you're right.
Alright, status update. So, working on the first hole, and what I did is I used a 25mm hole saw to make big holes to go to make around the corners. And then I'm going to use my Dremel with a small cut disc and connect the dots up, down, across the sides and see what we yield from that, and then you go in there with a file or whatever and clean up any little imperfections or whatever, but it should turn out pretty good. So let's see what happens this time.
Okay, exhaust manifold. It's come off. I still need to clean gasket surfaces on this head. Unfortunately, the gasket that came off just got destroyed. However, they have a set of headers back there that you don't want to use the gaskets for, which are going to go on the 93 that we got. And they'll fit for these exhaust manifolds. So, because all the bolt holes line up, all the ports line up. So, I took, thus far, I took the EGR fitting out of a Chinese manifold and it threaded right into that one. It's all tight. And your air dam situation, what's going on here?
Well, okay, so I have used the Dremel to cut the straight lines, used the hole saw to do the corners. Now I'm just using the razor blade to touch up any little bit of slaggy plastics, just to make it look all nice and true. And then I'm going to do a test run to make sure that everything's lining up in the hole, and if not, I can go back and always take more away. It's hard to put more back on. So far so good.
And these are our new sets of fog lights. So you'll
just got to finish cleaning this up first.
Here, new exhaust manifold, new used, I guess, is set down in here. Got this part coated with RTV. I'll probably do a little bit around the cylinder head too, but decided to get our gasket there and just set that on there and get sandwiched on with the bolts. I will say it fits a lot down in there a lot easier than the Chinese one did.
So there you go. There's one side completely done. It turned out very, very nice. Got all the little burrs and everything off of it. and trued everything up real well. I'm pretty proud of it. So now I need to rinse and repeat on this side. But it'll be pretty cool whenever it's all done.
Okay, so 3 pairs of shirts, or no, 3 shirts, 2 shorts, and 1 shower later. Exhaust manifold is completely bolted on. Now I just gotta put the spark plugs back in and put the wires back on, and then we can light it up and hear it leak. Or not leak. Okay, spark plugs and wires are back in. I'm pretty sure I got the firing order right. I guess we're gonna find out. Okay, here we go. So, we have fixed the exhaust leak.
So, now you have both holes for the fog lights. You can just put the clips on for the bolts. It's time to put it on the truck and stick the fog lights on it.
Okay, third brake light was not working for the cargo light anyway. So, got a new one with a smoked lens, and cargo lights and brake lights work on this one too, and it's LED. So, should never have to change the bulbs in it, and I'm pretty sure the other one was leaking too, so I had to put a new seal around it because it came with one, so that issue should be solved. Okay, so the valance is hung up, brake cleaned and scuffed. Grill on the sawhorses, and the inner parts of the chrome and the grills is masked off. It's also been scuffed and brake cleaned, so getting some paint shaken up so we can blow some white on this and then hopefully put it on tomorrow and finish that up. Okay, we got some white being blown on here and here. It's kind of a toxic gas cloud in here.
Yeah, this is actual automotive paint from Baps. Very expensive, but at least done really nice. Because we don't have a paint booth, so gotta make do with what we got.
So, got 3 cans of the white, 2 cans of clear. So, after we get some coats of white on here, then we blow some clear on it, and it should look pretty nice.
So far, so good.
Okay, figured I should also address this too. The air dam is all bolted up with the fog lights in there, all nice and tight. Anyhow, they look a little awkward, and we thought they did too. However, it kind of makes sense because they point straight out. If they were actually angled with the air dam, they'd be kind of pointing off to the sides, so it actually kind of makes sense for them to be a little awkward. Okay, so the grill and the valance are all painted up and ready to stick on the truck tomorrow because we gotta let them dry, but they got a whole bunch of white and a whole bunch of clear on them, so should match the truck pretty well.
Not better than good.
Yep. Okay, the grill is on, and it definitely blends well together with the yellow hood with the white paint, so you can get a picture of the befores, that way you can just see the comparison, because it's got the nice chrome bumper on it now with the fog lights. And
the grill's actually painted.
Yeah.
Matches the truck.
Yep.
Now I need to go smack a deer with it.
Yep. Which, we're going to go for a crappy test drive because it's a crappy day.
Yeah, it's raining again.
Not as hard, but it's still there. So, and probably hook up the scanner while we're driving too, so that way we can
get along for the ride.
Yep. Okay, so here we are going down the road, about 50, and everything's looking alright. O2 sensors are the only thing I'm concerned with, because if you go into the DTC menu, it's showing pendings for the System 2 rich codes. And if I look at the, oh, now it says complete for the oxygen sensor. Anyhow, if I come down to this green line right here, O2 graph, it seems a little unsteady, and I think it's supposed to be a little more smooth than what it is. Like, I understand that it's supposed to go up and down, but I feel like it should be a little more symmetrical than that, I guess. So, said that could have something to do with the O2 sensors. So, I mean, we're only 10% throttle and we're cruising at 56 miles an hour, so we're good. Okay, this is the oil that we drained out of this thing before we rebuilt it. Well,
It only had
less than 1,000 miles,
What?
probably less than
Like
500.
Well, think about it. We drove it up from Baltimore, took it to Carlisle,
Yeah,
and so yeah,
so
maybe
300, maybe. Anyhow, so, and we drained this, and this is what's left. It's like glue transmission clutch material. I'm assuming it's just sludge that has settled to the bottom after I drained this because it sat on the table for the longest time. But, like, seriously. And it's super dark, too, so I'm assuming it
Like
probably
your underwear.
mixed. Sure. So it probably mixed with what was left in it because I didn't let it drain very quick because it was very cold. So, yeah.
We're gonna dispose of it. However you're supposed to dispose of it.
Burn it.
Oh no, that's illegal. Can't do that. We're gonna take it to our own personal oil reclamation
Refinery.
refinery.
And make gasoline out of it.
Sure.
Yeah. So, moral of the story here is don't do drugs, kids.
All right, everybody. Thanks for checking us out again. I know it's little things that we're finishing up on a truck, but it's actually coming together and we're getting pretty proud of it. So stay tuned for the next upload. We have a lot more to do yet. So like, subscribe,
And
catch you next time.
next round of this thing should be focusing with the interior.
Yes,
So.
it's a shit show. So
Yep. So.
see you next time.